And joining us today in the Hawk's Nest is Lionel from Lionel Media. Thank you always for coming on.
Indeed.
Well, and now as we've seen this year, Wall Street has not, really been making a big mark on the election this year. In fact, they've been pushed out to the fringes. Bernie Sanders forced the Democrats to openly criticize Wall Street, and the Republicans included reinstating Glass-Steagall into their platform. Lionel, is this a serious threat to Wall Street's influence on politics, or is this just, one more open political attack that won't really result in anything once the election is done? I mean, are we seeing that shift that so many are calling for?
No,
Ooh.
Nothing's going to happen. Absolutely nothing. What this is, and what Hillary Clinton is, and let me just say as a prefatory note, I ain't voting for anybody on that ticket. Nobody. So I'm not carrying anybody's water. I'm not a shill for anybody. I don't have any agenda here. I am voting for nobody. But let's talk about Hillary. I don't know what parallel universe she's living in. I don't know if she thinks I'm stupid, we're stupid, we've been in a coma, because all I have to do is look at her record. Unlike Trump, Trump's a man of intention, hope. This is what I want to do. This is what I'd like to do. I've never tried it. Okay, fine. You could say the aspirations are ridiculous, but I've got a record for her. She's a Wall Street shill, a puppet, and a globalist neocon warmonger. And I don't know where this progressive, liberal faction, where they see her as being this archetypal lefty or liberal. This is a Rorschach test. People are seeing her for something she is not. This was a grand illusion. May I just give you one of my favorite facts? Leon Panetta and she and others talked about this imaginary night, this day, when they were in the Situation Room, when they saw Osama bin Laden dispatched by a SEAL team. It never happened, because in 2011, Leon Panetta said, I was there, the feed went down for 25 minutes, and yet there's a picture of her looking like this, either aghast or smelling her hand, and nobody ever challenged her. There's no mainstream media. Kids they don't care. Well, not all of them, but nobody cares. We're too worried about Pokemon Go or I don't know what. She stood up in front of me and you in the world and said, I went to watch Wall Street, and I said, what gives with all these foreclosures? That never happened. What does she stand on Wall Street, just yell this out? And yet people clap and like bleating sheep, barking seal to this imaginary, illusory hallucination that is the Hillary Clinton campaign. So, Tyrell, that would be a no.
Yes. Hey, Pokemon Go isn't that bad, Lionel.
Never said it was. Never said it was.
It's not anything. Well, let me ask this. It's clear that there's a distinct populism that's driving this push against the banks, which is kind of hilarious because Occupy Wall Street, that's what they wanted to do, and everybody sort of, poo-pooed them, and now that the populace and sort of the blue collar stood up and said, we need to do this, it's cool. With Hillary sounding more like Bernie Sanders in regard to these big banks, is she turning her back on the investment that made her campaign?
No, because all she's doing is saying she's doing. You know, when you go to the doctor and they say, hey, listen, weren't you supposed to lose weight? Weren't you supposed to go on a diet? Well, yeah, I tried. No, you didn't. Well, that's what she's doing. She's just saying, well, I kind of went, I tried. It's a slow process. Look, I don't know if I can frankly blame Hillary. When we have a country and a mainstream sock puppet, echo chamber, cookie cutter, media that doesn't know the first thing about the Fed, much less investment banking, Glass-Steagall, any of that stuff, where was, in fact, I had this thing last night called an inverse drinking game. Every time, pour yourself a shot. Every time Hillary had a plan, enunciated a plan, and a formula, take a shot. I guarantee you, that glass is still sitting there. She never said, what?
Well,
what am I going to do to redistribute the wealth?
All right,
Oh,
now,
what, a Wall Street sale?
now, let's talk about plans, man. Let's talk now. One guy who clearly I haven't really heard much of a plan, except as you alluded to earlier, just kind of the idea of doing things as Donald Trump. But given Trump's background, you know, he's coming from that world of big money, Wall Street, New York City, big money. Can voters really expect him to take a different stance than Hillary on this? Because in my opinion, I don't really see how that could happen. He's a one-percenter like all the rest.
Look, they're all one-percenter. They got news for you. They're all one-percenter. They're all like that. Look, let me put it to you this way. Imagine I've got a glass of cyanide and a glass of some drecky blah that's fetid and feculent and it's glowing in the dark and I don't know what it is. That's Trump. He doesn't come up with anything concrete. He talks fancifully. He talks to the common man. He talks prompterless. Look at this. What is this? He does, I mean, and for God's sakes, just look at the two worlds of the conventions. He had Chachi, and last night they had Morgan Freeman. Last night was tear-jerking and lacrimal. But Donald Trump at least says, I'm going to do something. I know what Hillary has done. And you know what it is? Nothing.
All right, Lionel,
Nothing.
I got to thank you as always to come on and giving us your unique, fantastic, interesting perspective as always, my brother.
Didn't
Thank you.
mean to sugarcoat it. Didn't mean to ride the fence.
You know, just give it to us straight, man.
Just give us to it. All right.
Thank you
sir.
so much.
Thank you.